So, while we don't see the map of Winterland, I'm guessing the usual circle does still apply, which is funny. Explored 72%. Interesting that it shows up, but it doesn't show up on here. It's a hidden zone. That's kind of funny. But that's interesting. It does actually have a percentage, unless that's meaning for the full world map. I'm not sure. Maybe we just drive up to the mountain resort then in that case. Unfortunately, we can set. It doesn't show up immediately. So we'll do that, and then we want to set only to the end, and we want to go this way. This way, thank you. And go up to the mountain resort, and then we'll see what deliveries are from there, because I think at the moment we're just too far away. All we're seeing is the art workshop and the town square, as well as the chocolate factory. So that's kind of funny. I mean, the distances are quite large, so that does make sense. So there's like a side gate or something that we can go out, I think. I remember seeing it last time. Yeah, there it is. Squeeze through there. We've already discovered the back alleys, it seems, which is nice. We do have to still go down this way. In ATS, I came up this way with my trailer, and that was a terrible decision. We're doing it properly this time. We're driving down here without our trailer. This whole area gets discovered all at once. So we'll take the shortcut. There we go. And hey, Razor One. Oh god.
It's that time again.
Here it comes. Thank you for your monthly aki. It's always a pleasure. It's like takoyaki. Or yaki. I guess a yak would be pretty at home in this weather. This climate. So, yeah. Well, good on. Can't stay, have to go and do dinner things. Fair enough. It's a busy time of year. I'm generally not optimistic about anyone showing up to a stream at all, let alone just before Christmas. So, well, thank you for stopping in at least for that. Yeah, Happy New Year as well. Yeah, hope all is well at the moment. I'm never going to be optimistic more than a few days ahead. Like, anything can happen at any time with us, so... But for now, things are good. So I'm going to enjoy that while it lasts. I hope the same is with you. Hey, my GG. I'll just leave there now. I mean, I'm glad that you were here. I just don't expect anyone to be here. That's the difference. Like, I am much accustomed to just shouting into the void. Like, I'm always happy when people turn up for conversation. I had a great discourse about politics of Canada. More than happy to talk about literally anything under the sun with anyone who turns up. It's just rare, and especially up to the holidays, I expect people are busy. And I do not hold it against anyone for being busy and not being able to stick around. So, yeah. Yeah, Cannibal. Yeah. On call over the holidays? Well, I hope you get paid extra for that. And, yeah. If anything happens, like, it's one of those things, if you do get paid extra for being on call at all, great. If you get paid extra for a call out, also great. If something happens but it's minor, like you get like a minimum hour paid, but it's like an issue that only takes you 15 minutes to resolve. Yeah, that's a nice Christmas bonus, right? You don't get paid extra, that's stupid then. Part of the gig. Not cool. I don't think that's even allowed over here. Like, we have an on-call roster at work, and if you are, the time that you are on call, you get paid extra because you are technically working outside of your hours. So that's extra. That deserves extra recognition. Like, it puts a strain on you. You can't do certain things. You have to remain close at hand to your laptop and all. You're like tethered for the time that you're on call. That deserves extra. And anyone that doesn't do that is taking advantage of people. I don't care if it's in the contract first. Oh, there's an expectation that you'll be on call. Okay, but you shouldn't be always on call, so you can't consider that part of your normal salary. So for the time that you are actually on call, you should get paid extra for it. Simple as that. Kind of annoying. I hate when businesses take advantage of workers like that. It's just not cool. Two Canadians watching a guy from New Zealand, what are the chances? Yeah. Work for an American company? Yeah. But that's the thing, is that even if you work for an American company, you should be... like, your pay and your contract should be in your local jurisdiction.
Turn right.
Like, just because you work for an American company, if you are an employee in New Zealand, for example, you are still subject to New Zealand employment law. Your contract will have to abide by New Zealand employment law. So, yeah. And if that's legal anywhere, then it's wrong. That's the point. I'm not saying it's illegal, I'm just saying it's wrong. I just don't like it. I'm not saying that they're doing anything that you can do anything about, unfortunately. I just don't like it. Find a way to make it legal? Yeah, probably. Don't think there's any way they can here, though. That's the thing, is that's extra time worked. You work on Christmas Day, you're entitled to 2 times salary. Yeah, if you are required to work on Christmas Day here, and it is a normal day of work, then you would get paid extra. Though the difference is that Christmas here, specifically, is a non-working day. No one is open.
Turn left.
I think maybe like gas stations, maybe. I can't even remember if they're allowed to open. It's pretty much just a case of, yeah. But if you are required to work because of like emergency services, for example, doctors, nurses, things like that, things that absolutely must function on Christmas Day, you get paid, I think it's time and a half as opposed to double, but you also get a day in lieu, so you get that day to take off any other time, like basically as extra leave. You used to get an extra 25k per year for on-call. That's much better. That's much what it should be. Double time required, but not daily. Yeah, that's just an extra thing they do over here. It's like, oh, you missed out on a day off, so you get an extra day off that you don't have to take as leave. It's a pretty reasonable way of doing it. I much prefer it that way. Hello. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs, Razor. Just treating the community. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas, everyone. There's going to be a bunch of notifications coming through now. You hit B-hots with that. Nice. Excellent.
Get ready to turn.
It's always interesting to see who gets hit by that sort of blast radius. It's generally people who have turned up recently, or like who have subbed before, or long-standing
Turn right.
Followers. That's cool. That is crazy. I appreciate it. Very much. Just looking through the list, yeah. I recognize most of those names. A lot of people just kind of come and go. Which is, you know, not surprising given my schedule. It's always nice when people drop by. Yeah, I don't exactly have the most reliable things.
It's all over now.
Hit one more. Zelda's gonna go, what the hell? I'm not interested in watching a dude drive a truck. I'll need to make sure to do some more Subnautica stuff next year. See how we go. I do want to do more rando for a start. Is this a community map? It is a community event map. It is part of the current Christmas event for SCS, so it is not a modded map, if that's what you're meaning. This is part of the current Christmas Winterland, I think they've called it. Something weird. I thought it was Winter Wonderland at first, but it's actually Winterland instead. Gonna put a new version together. Nice. Okay, well, I'll look forward to it. Have fun. You too. Have a good one. Have some happy holidays with the family. Still getting notifications. Brilliant. Brilliant. I hope it doesn't get stuck. Yeah, I do want to do some Nautica stuff. As I've said before, doing the actual speedrunning stuff on stream is awkward because of just the time investment. I mean, maybe, so I've got a couple of weeks off work. I mean, I've got a lot to do around the house. But depending on what the weather's like, then yeah, maybe I'd be able to do some extra streams. And yeah, maybe we just go, okay, hell with it. We'll grind some Nautica today. Just go for it and see what we get done. But I wouldn't be optimistic for any PBs or anything, that's for sure. Even though there's been a lot of strat changes, like I could probably get an easy PB in any of my glitchless runs and probably even my glitched run, but it's a lot of grinding to get to the point of even having a valid run with spawn and radiation timer and all that sort of jazz. So yeah, maybe, but I can't promise anything. I need to do a below zero speedrun as well. That would probably be the thing to do. I should actually pay attention to the survival glitchless routing. That seems like it's probably the best one to do. I don't like how close to drowning they come all the time, but, you know. I thought we had a delivery waiting for us, did it? It doesn't usually expire. Has it, like, lost sync? Currently have no delivery job. Huh? I thought I had a delivery. Oh no, that's right. I drove here without a delivery. I'm losing my mind. I'm very tired. I drove here without a delivery because it didn't show up, but now we're getting mountain resorts because we're close enough. Hey, Varna, that's nice. Mountain resort, yeah, so it was definitely just because we weren't close enough. Riga. Is there anywhere in, like, Iberia or the Balkans we can get to? Tyranny and Italy? I haven't been back to Italy for a while. Lisbon. Okay, we can go to another Portugal place. Vienna, Cagliari, Pskov, Karuna, Latvia, Lilus, Korska. Haven't been back there in ages. I need to do a Explorsica run as well, actually. That's a good point. Sometime I want to do the exploring all of Corsica. That's a speed run in this game. Where was the Portugal one? Lisbon. There we go. We'll take the Lisbon one. Excellent. Doesn't celebrate Christmas really because family actually wants to work on Christmas Day. 2 times payment is appealing. Yeah, well, then you just, like, substitute, right? You just take
Let's get this job
the family holiday another time when it's more suitable for you. Like, I don't like to take extra time off over this period because it's like, I'd rather take my time away at different times of the year.
Make a U-turn.
We get public holidays for Christmas and Boxing Day and also New Year's Day and the day after New Year's Day, which is kind of weird, but convenient.
Make a U-turn now.
I think we can. I'm sure this hill wasn't as hard to climb with the American truck. I'm not quite sure why the Volvo is struggling. Here's the view anyway. We can't see much, unfortunately, because we don't have a trailer. We could go into photo studio mode and get a bit of a higher angle, but we did that in ATS already, so I will be highlighting those videos to go on YouTube over the next week or so. Last timed run was 16 months ago. Yeah, I don't even know when my last one was. I did one for ATS recently, because I thought of a new route, and I don't know how we didn't think of it before. It's kind of absurd. It's one of those things, it's like, yeah, this has always been here. Why the hell did it take us this long? I even did it on an old patch, because I could. It's just, yeah, bizarre.
Here we are.
ETS2, I've been wanting to do more runs, but they're just quite long, and yeah, like the short runs I can't really improve much on. It's like I'd be investing minutes for the sake of seconds, if that. so it's hard to justify the time investment. But yeah, it's always tricky doing speedrunning on stream especially. It's more a case of if I've got idle time. It's different as well now that I don't have my gaming computer in the main room, so it means I'm less likely to be just idly doing a speedrun while watching something in the lounge. Like, I could install something on my wife's computer instead. And just do it that way. I probably should, but I haven't yet. Greece, you said, should have been part of Balkans announcement in his own DLC. Yeah, I've spoken about that at length in the Balkan streams that I was doing. It feels a bit cynical to me, like I know that Greece is a fairly large part of its own right, but it's a case of, since they're doing it by itself, I really want to see it being more of an Aegean thing, also including like Crete and the western part of Turkey. Kind of the ancient Greece area. Because if they don't, Greece by itself just feels a bit cheap. Like, compared to mixing it in with the rest of the Balkans. That said, having seen the size of the West Balkans and the number of cities they added, I'm not mad that they did exclude Greece to an extent, because there is a lot there. But then they could probably have cut down on some of the cities they included. They probably just wanted to make sure they did a few for each country. But there's a few that I've never heard of that probably didn't need to be featured, but there they are. That's fine. I've been doing that a lot in the more recent DLCs. They really need to go back into like Poland and include a lot more cities, because there's only like 5 or something for the entirety of Poland, which is a huge country. And then you've got places like, you know, Finland has like 10 cities included. And all throughout the Balkans, you've got 3 or 4 per tiny nation. It just feels a bit rude. Yeah, because we get the public holidays, I take the 2 short weeks off, so I only need to take 3 days of leave per week. And my company actually stipulates the week of Christmas around there, those 3 days. We don't even have to take annual leave for that. We just get that as a separate, like, holiday leave. So that's nice. It's an encouragement for people to take a break. But otherwise, I'd prefer to take my time off at other times of the year and do stuff with family when everyone else isn't also on holiday and when the weather is nicer, instead of it being hot. Through the portal. Government's still quite religious, there's only non-essential jobs open on Christmas. Yeah, Christmas and Easter Sunday are the 2. Even though we're a pretty secular nation, by and large, those are still the special things. Because regardless of whether you are celebrating Christ or Santa, or Christ or the Easter Bunny, and chocolate, I personally am celebrating time off and chocolate. But regardless, they're just so ingrained as days that you just have off. So those are the non-trading days. And the start of the Anzac morning, because that's like our Memorial Day. So yeah. But too lazy to learn the 8 shifter strat. Yeah, that's the other thing, is getting better incrementally at little things like that in ETS2 is hard. Yeah, I can't be bothered learning the 8 shifter strat. I'm not even sure it would work very well with an Xbox controller, and I've given up on the idea of getting a wheel. So, I know it works with like keyboard and mouse, but I hate that as a control screen these days. Unless you're doing just the delivery runs, I'd rather still use my controller, so it's a case of comfort. And it's just too much stress, and a lot of quick finger movements, which I struggle with these days. My joints are not great. I have issues with things just being sore. Like I've had scans, I don't actually have like arthritis in my hands or anything, but I do have fibromyalgia, so it just hurts. So I'd rather not. So it's a case of when it's if you feel that you have to master something like that to get better, then that's a disincentive for sure. Start to play GTA RP. Fair enough. Yeah, if you find you something you just really enjoy playing, then you just stick with that, right? And I've been really enjoying just casually playing these games again. And Power Simulator's dominated most of last year for me, so... And I got the PlayStation, so I'm often just sitting on the couch playing games now as well, so... Yeah. All comes together as a perfect storm of not making time for speedrunning. Yes, so we've got 8 cities in Poland. What do we got? Wrocław, good enough. Yeah. And I've got like Katowice, and I've got a few, but I just... It doesn't have to just be big cities, right? That's what they've proven with their more recent DLCs, is it's been just towns of like tens of thousands of people is all it takes, rather than it having to be a big city. Okay, I need to cut across here. Sorry, dude, I'm taking this lane. So yeah, it's just the ratio of cities and towns. When they first launched the game in the first few DLC, it was just big cities. That was all they focused on. And fair enough too. But they've not done much backfill. Even in Germany, where they've added in a lot of extra roads and stuff, they haven't added in extra little towns in between cities.
At the roundabout, take the first exit. Exit now.
It just means that the older parts of the map just look a lot more barren, and the newer DLC areas just look a lot more busy. I think there's a bit of a middle ground to be struck. I don't think they have to feature that. Like, I don't think there needed to be 30 cities added with the West Balkans. And I don't think there needed to be that many added even for the likes of Portugal, or the Black Sea, or... I am going down this way. It's just weird because it's blocked off, but the depot's to the left. Or for the Baltics, for that matter. You know, I feel that they went overboard a bit, but now that the precedent is set, that's kind of what people expect. So, you know, that's fine. I don't mind it too much, but don't need Easter to eat chocolate. Yeah, well, that is true. Like, it's not like we do anything particularly different for that, really. There we go. Steam year review, what was my #1 game? I think Power Simulator. I can't remember. I do have it linked somewhere. I didn't actually link the full thing in Discord, though. I should actually link the full thing. I just posted a screenshot, I think. I was going to actually do a year in review video, because I did that last year, I think, and I should do that again. And I should also feature my PlayStation and Game Pass reviews as well, maybe, but Steam's the only one relevant for streaming, so... 14 out of 15, we are almost done. So, where was it I wanted to go? I think I've been everywhere now, haven't I? So I can just go back to the town square now, and then take a delivery from the town square as well, and that'll be it. That's all I have to do. Interesting, only one portal available. That's interesting. And Lisbon is most of the way there, but not completely. I was just wondering if I was getting, like, Ponta de Sor jobs or anything where I am. I'm guessing not. No, it's all just Lisbon. That's fine. Well, let's do some assorted meats, some mystery meat, to the town square. Yeah, after I finish this event off, then I can quickly take a look at my Steam review again on stream or something. But I was going to make a separate video of that when I get time. I probably won't get time this weekend. It might be next week.
Turn right, and then turn right.
It's weird that they do it before Christmas instead of like the week before New Year's. Oh, I'm meant to go in there. Is there an entrance there? No, I've got to go around all the way around the other side. Okay, see, I was thinking there might be an entrance there. I was focusing on the flag rather than the directions. Classic mistake. Total War Warhammer, yeah. Steam doesn't keep tracking your times played in GTA RP, yeah. Well, anytime you launch something through a separate client or something, it'll get confused. Because even if you launch it from Steam, it will often get confused, like, because the actual executable thing doesn't show up. Like, it'll still think that you're not playing it. Is this not where... Oh, no, that's just a trailer park. That's... Don't mind me, I'm just getting lost. Lost in Lisbon. Now that's a rom-com title suggestion. Lost in Lisbon. Starring Tom Hanks. Who's the modern day? Probably Ryan Reynolds. He'd be the modern day go-to for a rom-com, surely. Or Ryan Gosling, one of the Ryans. Can't check yours because you're not a computer, but pretty sure it's ATS. Yeah, fair enough. Or satisfactory. Tom Hanks is the modern day Tom Hanks. That's fair. That's very true. So we've got to go north, basically. Okay, these roads are confusing though. How do I go north? Geralt, please help me. How do I get out of here? It's only giving me one option. Interesting. Normally there's a few. There we go. Maybe I just had to zoom in. No, that's literally it. There's nothing. Okay. It's giving me an option.
Let's go.
Indeed, let's go. Right, so this is how we get out of here.
Turn
Mind
left.
for traffic. Yeah, I'm fairly sure ETS2 and ATS both featured in my top 5 as well. Also, Persona 5 Strikers, I think, was... Actually, that might have been my number 1, because I've been binging that a lot lately. When I started playing it. I've been treating it not quite like an idle game, because you can't actually play it idle, but I would boot it up and then be playing it while working, so it'll be running pretty much the whole day while I'm on my laptop next to my gaming computer. So I'll be on my work laptop, and if I'm waiting for a job to run or something, I'll just do a few fights and just move on. Especially I was doing a merciless New Game Plus run to grind Bond experience to get the final trophy. So it would be like, okay, I'll do a fight and it takes like 3 or 5 minutes or something to down a dire shadow to get the Bond XP, and then I'll just let it sit for a while. So the ratio of time played versus time open is very low. Like, I would probably only be playing it for 5% of the hours that it said that I was playing it. I think the game time on the save file is more accurate, because if I tabbed away, then the game would like freeze its state, because I was playing it on a separate window and windowed. So it's the sort of game that if you tab away, the sound stops, like everything goes idle. But because the executable is still running, Steam still thinks you're playing it. So I think the time played on Steam is through the roof, but the game time on the save file is a lot less. Can't wait to play GTA 6 in 2 more years. I could not care less. I haven't even played GTA 5. I've barely played GTA 4. I got it on sale. I think I played it for a couple of hours. I honestly just got bored. It's no longer my kind of game. I played a lot of GTA 3 and Vice City back in the day. Well, and 1 and 2 for that matter. I grew up back when GTA 1 was a thing. I even had the London version of GTA 1. Set in the 60s or whatever. GTA 2 was great. Really enjoyed that. That was just a dumb fun game. GTA 3 was dumb fun, but they tried to make it serious, and it's like, this is not a serious game. Don't try and make this serious. So then Vice City was a lot better. I much preferred Vice City, because even though the storyline was technically serious, you could take it seriously. It was bombastic and just 80s fun. The music was great. The radio stations they had in the game were great.
Then exit right.
Vice City was the peak to me. And then 4 was on a... San Andreas came out first, I think?
Right.
San Andreas just didn't appeal to me. It's like, big city, LA, okay, whatever, don't care. It's like, what about this is meant to appeal to me? Just not sure anymore. And the gameplay loop of just running around shooting things is not interesting to me. Especially since the gunplay is terrible. The driving physics is terrible. So it's like, for a game that's meant to be about driving and shooting things, doesn't do it for me. I would rather play Truck Simulator for driving, or Forza, maybe, or Assetto Corsa if I want proper driving. And I'll play COD Zombies for shooting, or something like that. Something that's designed with better shooting gameplay. And it just always felt absurd that you just get overwhelmed by police. Like, you do your missions, you commit your crimes, you get your star rating, and then you just get swamped, pretty much. And it didn't matter, because then you just resurrected the thing. So long as you completed the mission, you were safe. And it's not like I had any reason to care about the characters, like they weren't relatable characters in any way. The stories are not relatable. It's like, I'm playing a guy doing bad things. How am I supposed to actually enjoy this? Or care what happens to them? It's like, I actually want them to be caught. I don't want to play as this person. The guy in 3 was a bit more sympathetic, at least. He was like just a delivery guy, or like a courier essentially, who got crossed. He was just trying to do his best, and then got caught up in a bunch of stuff. He was just a driver, you know? And then I think they tried to give their protagonists too much personality, and ultimately, it's not what I cared for, so... Winter Waste Wonderland, yes. It is a bit of a wasteland, I'll grant you that. Welcome, Lulu. Long time no see, hope you're doing good. Wish Steam counted AFK time and non-AFK time? Yeah, it can't do that, really. Like, if you're AFK, just close the game. That's the other thing, is that these days, generally, you can save, and then it doesn't take that long to load a game back up again on PC, so... Arguably, that's what I should have been doing with a lot of mine. If I wasn't actively playing them, I should have just closed them and then opened them again next time I had the chance to actually play something. But it's just more convenient to leave it open. I guess Steam could theoretically... I guess you'd have to run it in admin mode, which they don't advise, but if you were and it had access to... Maybe it wouldn't need it, but if it knew what the CPU cycles were at, so it's like, okay, the executable is open, but it's not enjoying any processor time, so therefore it's AFK, so we shouldn't count it as playtime. But yeah, they don't, and I can understand not bothering. For most people it doesn't matter, right? You open a game to play a game, you don't open it to just leave it sitting on another computer while you go off and do other things. That's just what I do. Everything has a year review now, just reading up the comments. Yeah, everything does, it seems. It's kind of stupid. Sometimes it's interesting. So for Steam, it's interesting. Game Pass, like things to do with habits can be interesting. But some places take it a bit far. I can't remember. There was one I received that I thought, am I supposed to care about this? It was kind of odd. Apparently you went to Tim Hortons every day for 1/3 of the year. Good for you. Don't know what we're talking about here. Does Steam not technically track AFK and non-AFK time? If you go to game stats, say total play time for most games. So what I was talking about is that I'm fairly sure there's a big discrepancy between my game time for Persona 5 Strikers with Steam. It featured really highly, and a lot of the time it's spent just sitting idle, like with me alt-tabbed, but the executable was running. So, leaving you here, gonna have to rest before tomorrow. Fair enough, thank you for stopping by, MindGG, and have good holidays. Yep, rest up. I kind of need to do the same, but I wanted to finish this event, so... Oh, and we overshot the viewpoint again. No surprise. Yeah, for context on the game time thing, I'd have to look at my year in review again, and also compare with my Steam things. Which I will do after we do not this delivery, but the one after it, because I'm not going to leave myself stranded in Winterland. I do want to return home, and I don't want to have to escape through some sort of snowy vortex. We'll do one more delivery after this from the town square. Finish off the rest of the roads in Winterland. Not because it's tracked or anything. It doesn't make any difference whether or not we discover Winterland or not, but I just want to. So... I could theoretically probably Alt-Tab at this point as well and see what it looked like on Steam. It'll just pop up the little thing down there, yeah. So if I go to my home and go to Strikers, he reckons playtime 153 hours, but I think that the time on the save file is only like 60. So I think about half the time I have not actively been playing the game. And even a lot of that time, like, it'll be that I haven't paused it and I haven't alt-tabbed it, and it's just been sitting with the character doing nothing. But I've not actually been playing it, which you can't distinguish between, realistically. Like, there's no way that I could tell the difference on that. Steam can't know any better. So after this, I think it's just that little portal bit. That'll be my exit portal. Just to the south of the arts workshop. That'll be my way out. Let's pop into scenic view here. So we wind our way down into the city. Thankfully we don't have to worry about traffic. No one else is in this area. It'd be kind of nice if there was a bit of traffic of some sort. Just little cars driving around or something. Make it feel a little bit more alive. But that's alright. Need to be 4x4s in this weather. Alright, pulling on in. We don't theoretically have to even take a delivery from here if we don't want to, because overshot. There we go. We have either been overshooting or stopping too soon with these consistently because of the ice physics. Assorted meats to the town square from Lisbon. 130k is done. Very nice. There we go. 15 out of 15. We are done. 5 different depots. We've done to and from all of those twice, basically. Well, we haven't done from the town square yet. Like 15 deliveries, including 1 to or from using either or both. We have done both, and then we're earning snowflakes as we go. And we'll get an achievement and a paint job and all of that sort of stuff. I'm not sure whether or not we have those yet. I suspect not. But that's fine. Next step. Now we've got to return somewhere. So that's actually kind of handy in Bosnia and Herzegovina, because that's back in the area of the world we want to be. If we go from origin... And now it's all town square, right? Yeah. Montenegro. Also good. Slovenia. It's pretty close. I'm not sure we've actually been to Ljubljana, actually. It's kind of cheating going somewhere I haven't been before, but... Oh, now we're getting to the post office, not the town square, so... I'm down for cheating. That's fine. Let's go to Ljubljana. Never actually made it all the way up to the north of the Balkans. We need to do a lot more exploration. Let's deliver some hampers. So the trailer is next to me. I need to, like, reverse around because it's facing the other way. For some bizarre reason. We deliver one direction and then we pick up the other. Dunno. Top 3 games Satisfactory, Terraria, and then ATS. Yeah, fair enough. All games that you can sink a lot of time into, for sure. Alright, so I'm not going to set a waypoint, I'm just going to try and navigate to the portal naturally, which is probably a terrible idea because I've got lost every time I've tried to get out of the town square area, but never mind. 40 hours away of getting 1,000 hours in ATS, nice. ATS I have a lot less in than this. I think my total time in ETS2 is well over 1,000 hours. ATS I think is only like 400. Definitely put a lot more time into this. It's been catching up a bit with ATS though, because the frequency of state DLCs being released, there's been more expansion DLCs being released in ATS. So then I've been going back into that more frequently than ETS2. But then to offset that, whenever there's been seasonal events, like... Actually no, Halloween I did in ATS because there was the Balkans out. But I think previous seasonal things I've done in this game instead. When it's been possible to do it in both, I've generally erred on the side of doing this because I've been doing the state DLCs in ATS. So it's kind of balanced out year on year, I think. But obviously, as Balkans came out, so I was playing this a lot more then. But then Kansas came out, Oklahoma, Texas, I think that's all in the last year. So ATS has probably enjoyed a little bit more playtime this year. 1231 and ETS2 at 959. Fair enough. So it is still more in this, yeah. Not quite as different as mine. Also, the time I've spent speedrunning in ETS2 adds up. I've not speedrun as much in ATS. I've done most runs, but it's not been as competitive. Fewer people get into it, and understandably, like, if nothing else, just the old trucks aren't as fun to drive. The trucks in ETS2 are much more fun to drive fast than the fastest trucks in, like, you're driving one of these, the nice Volvo with a powerful engine and a good gearbox, whereas in ATS you're driving a Peterbilt or a Kenworth, an old, long, really annoying, like really good at straight line speed, but really annoying to turn. And that's what you're forced to drive because it's the fastest. Because they have the slightly more powerful engine and the best gearbox. Right, through the portal for the last time. Actually, let's take a look at the world map. I want to just double check. Yeah, so that explored is for the overall world, it's not for Winterland. Winterland has not counted toward our exploration percentage, unsurprisingly, given that it's a temporary seasonal zone. But we've been everywhere, we've seen everything, and now we're saying goodbye. Off through the portal. And into Slovenia, which honestly probably looks very similar at this time of year. Fairly sure they have proper winters in Slovenia.
Let's do this.
Let's do this indeed. So, new roads. Kind of cheating getting here, instead of actually taking deliveries naturally to get here, but yeah, just this once. Because it's Christmas. It's a great excuse for anything, really, isn't it? Because it's Christmas. Much easier to push a car off a cliff in ATS. I'll take your word for that. I guess there's more cliffs available. In the desert areas especially. And they tend not to have guardrails. Whereas I think in ETS2 there tends to be a lot more safety mechanisms in place. Which is strange, because you'd think in America they'd be obsessed with liability and they'd be making sure to have guardrails everywhere so you couldn't push cars off cliffs, but maybe not. Some places it's just lip service, I think. Try and enjoy the scenic view as much as we can. This is definitely where, like, if they added in a winter, like, seasonal mode or something, would be nice, driving through these sorts of areas at this time of year. You probably have a bit of snow up on the hills at the very least. Don't know if you get it all the way down to ground level. Looks like we're passing a viewpoint and a photo opportunity. I am not going to take them now, from the simple point that this is a Christmas event stream.
Keep
I will
right,
do
and then
different
exit right.
exploration streaming at another time. Because I do definitely want to explore more of the
Exit
Balkans.
right.
It can all go onto the same, like, Cruising West Balkans playlist, like I've done before with other parts of the
Turn
world
right.
and states and stuff.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
You know what? Because of that, we're going to go right here instead, even though it wants me to go straight ahead because it's technically shorter. We're going to go this way instead to avoid where the viewpoint and photo opportunity is,
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
because we're like that. That's the way it
Exit now.
is. This is a cool building.
Get ready to turn right.
That's funky. Shopping mall, it's like. That's cool. But I've definitely tried a lot harder to make the cities feel like the real cities.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Exit now. Finally, we are here.
In we go. Where do you need it? And you know what? Because it's our last delivery, let's go for it. We'll do it properly. Massive cliff in Nevada that has no guardrails, gotcha. Well, I guess Nevada is one of the oldest parts, so they probably weren't trying as hard to make it as, like, realistic as it could be. Dunno. Couldn't say for sure. I do know the older parts of the game are definitely wanting a bit. They've been revamping California, much like they've been revamping Germany to hell and back in this. They've been revamping California, but they really need to do, yeah, Nevada and Arizona and New Mexico as well. And we're done. Visible wall came up too fast. Yeah, that's always a killer. Excellent. I mean, we were already done with the event, but now we're home again. We're back in reality, outside of Winterland, and we're back in the Balkans, ready to go again for some touring. We also need to do Austria again because they completely redid Austria. And when I say completely redid, I'm not joking. I think every single road in Austria pretty much got replaced. This was gold once, and now it's all grey again, as well as a lot of bits in Germany, like most of the north. We had this at 100% once, now we're down to 72, and not insignificant amount of that is due to all of that. There's a lot of work ahead of us. Also the fact that at one point I did drive around here, but I forgot to save, I think. There's probably an autosave from ages ago that had me going to those places, but I never actually reloaded it properly. So that's on me. And we've got to do a little bit more in Lithuania as well, looks like. But our map exploration's got a few hundreds on there. So yeah, Lithuania's poor, 57%. It's probably the worst of the old areas. Oh, except for Austria, yeah, 16.9% in Austria now. Yeah, Lithuania's worse than Germany. Finland's still at 99.9. I thought I'd finished that. Is that another case of not reloading or not saving properly? Reloading the wrong thing? I feel there was like a single place that I had not been to the recruitment agency. No, not that one. Not that one. We'll worry about that another time. For now, I can get lost in this without meaning to. For now, let's say goodbye. We've finished the Christmas event. We've done both games now. And yeah, we've talked a lot of smack along the way. So thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you next time after Christmas. Maybe Boxing Day stream. We'll see how we go. Take care and happy holidays, everyone.